Hey, good evening, Philly. Welcome back from the break. You're tuned in to Unpacking with Eric and Kai on WURD 96.1 FM, 900 AM, Philly's progressive Black Talk media. Tonight, y'all, we are diving back into the world of music. That's right, with an incredible rising star whose sound has been captivating audiences worldwide, to say the least.
Listen, Eric, this is someone that I actually found on Instagram. And so I'm so excited to be starting the year off right with none other than the Netherlands' very own Jair Faria. Did I say that right, friend?
Perfect, Jair Faria.
Jair
Ooh, say
Faria.
it
Okay,
again,
there we go.
Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just the
say it.
way
No,
you put
you
the It's just the
Faria.
way you. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah,
We like that.
y'all didn't know y'all boy could do that, did y'all? Listen,
This is
y'all,
late
I
night talk radio, right?
okay, and they need to know that I got
We
talent
know.
too.
Go off, Kai. Let her cook, unpackers. Let her cook.
I'm definitely going to. I'm so excited to have Jair with us because he's multi-talented and he has
Yeah.
a sound that blends pop, neo soul, indie rock into something that's very unique. From his viral hits to his latest EP, just as I remember, Jair is making waves, and we're so hyped to not only have him here, but we're his American debut, y'all. This is first USA media, so I'm so
Yes.
excited to have you, and I'm so excited to tell you all of my favorite like covers and everything tonight. We're excited. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is so fun.
Jair, welcome to the show. Thank you for unpacking with us. Thank you for joining
Yes.
us with the release of your new album last year. And it's safe to say 2024 was an incredible year. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah. 2024 for me was insane. Like I just started like doing stuff seriously, like being professional, as some would say, um, in the beginning of 2024. And I was like, you know what? Let's just start posting. Let's just be like doing that. And then I really didn't think much of it at first. And then in March, I think March, April, it started like picking up and I started getting views. I was like, wait, there's people that actually like my stuff. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely. Well, you sound amazing. You look amazing. So
Thank you.
you have the total package. I want to start in the beginning when you collaborated with your father, Glenn Fadia, on the Dutch language track. Now I can't say the name of the track. You're gonna have to say the name of the track for me.
Yeah, yeah. So that's called Terug naar nu,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
which
And you were
basically it translates to back to now.
back to now. Okay. And you were 15, right? When you did that collaboration.
Yeah, yeah. It came out when I was 15, but I recorded it when I was 14.
Oh, so you've been singing.
Okay.
Okay.
You're not new to this. He true to this.
He's true to this. What was
Yes.
that moment like for you? Like, how did that experience shape you as an artist? And also, you were recording with your father. So, like, what was unpack the
Oh,
entire
I
moment?
love that.
Yeah, so my dad is a musician here in the Netherlands, and he's been making music ever since I was born and way before that. But we never actually like made music together. And then while COVID was happening, we were obviously in the same house, like very close to each other. And he made music in his room, and I made music in my room. And then one day he just came up to me and was like, "You want to sing this song with me?" I made it with some friends, and um, I think it's so cool if we do it together. And then he just showed me the lines and like told me what I was gonna sing, and then I literally recorded it in his bedroom like this, and then he used that take. So it was like a 15-minute idea. And here in the Netherlands, a lot of people liked that, and it went like pretty well, I guess. And that's also when I started to think like, oh, maybe I wanna do this as well for like my career.
Oh my gosh, like that. I'm just the part about you recording this with your father, just kind of like like on a whim, like, hey, let's just do this. Sounds incredible. And see, these are Kai, these are the moments that we talk about when we unpack here on the show. These are the moments that, create those memories that you're going to be thinking about Jair 10, 15, 20 years from now. What did that moment like mean for you, especially like looking back on like how far you've come from that? Just so much has happened.
Yeah, it definitely means a lot also to be able to do that like with my dad. Um obviously some people don't have those relationships with their dads. I personally have
Exactly.
a really good relationship with my dad. And around that time was also when I started dating, when I had my first boyfriend. And he was just so supportive and so nice. And then we did that, and then everything went kind of like insanely well. So it meant a lot to me.
Love that. Love that. All right. Let me get on to the next question because we're going to fast forward to your latest single, Do Better, which is resonating with so many listeners, including myself. I'm listeners. It's resonating. The track explores the emotional weight of moving on after a relationship. Beautifully done, by the way. Like this is the music that
Thank
we
you.
need to hear. So we have you here tonight, Jair. Please unpack for us what inspired you to write the song, and how do you approach turning personal challenges, personal struggles, like a breakup, into relatable music, something that you're pouring into that so many people are going to connect with all over the world.
Yeah, so for me, the way I write music and make music is always as an outlet. I always say that I'm like a tragic love song maker. I only make music when I'm like extremely hurt or extremely happy. Um, which with Do Better, I was like starting to get over this guy. I thought I was getting over him, and I was just, in this mood where you're like, oh no, I'm actually like, I'm gonna do way better, and I've been
Hmm.
better. And
I'm
um
good. I ain't thinking about him no more. Deleted his number out
exactly.
your phone. You really think you want something.
Exactly.
You think you want
Literally that.
something until it hits you, right? Like, oh.
Yes, until I
And you
was
got
like,
to do the
wait.
Mariah Carey slide down the wall cry. Like,
Yeah, literally that. Yeah, so that's basically where that came from. And most of my music is pretty sad, but I was like, I need something that's like a little bit more empowering. I really needed that myself, and I feel like other people needed that as well. So I was like, I'm gonna just write something up tempo, poppy, that's like fun, but also has like a great message. That's where that came from. And with that, I also made my first music video with one of my best friends. Was an amazing experience. Loved that as well.
unmute yourself, Kai.
Oh, sorry. Was the first music video the Why Me?
No, Why Me does not have a music video. It
It
was
doesn't
like
have
a
a music video.
it's like a live session kind of. It's
Oh,
not
okay,
not
okay,
a
okay.
not an official music video.
So the first music video was for Do Better.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
definitely.
what was that experience like? Because I will tell you, I've had I always say there are two types of artists. There's artists that love doing music videos, and then there's like the Whitney Houstons that at later in her career, she was like, every video is gonna be me sitting in one spot and the background is moving, but mother is not.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I'm like, me as an artist, I am not signed anywhere. I'm totally solo. It's just me and my momager, like she's my manager and my mom. It's just us. So I love creating. I've always been creative. I did art school. I love making music, but I also love visual art a lot. So I always wanted to make a music video. So I loved the whole experience, but I'm also very difficult in some ways. I'm like very critical, and like I want everything to be perfect. So I'm like a perfectionist. And so I called my friend who's like a dancer and a choreographer, and I was like, I want to make a video, like a music video, and I want it to be a one taker, and I want it done in 4 weeks. And he was like, what are you getting yourself and me into? But we made it work, and
It's giving
eventually
Beyonce and Giselle knows.
yeah, so it worked, and I'm really happy with the results, and it's like one of my favorite projects I did.
We love to hear it. Not let us find out that you the Beyonce of the Netherlands. I wa- I want to ask you the reason why I didn't think I realized why me wasn't a music video is because the videos were all over TikTok. Like it really like resonated with the TikTok fans. What was that like? Because we know that like for you, you talked about like starting and seeing that people were responding well. So like watching why me and other videos go so like viral on TikTok. social media is a big part of your journey, right? How has
Mhm.
that platform influenced your connection? And for those who are just listening, you're tuned into WRD 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We're here with Eric and Kai, and we are unpacking with Jair Faria, who is a Netherlands sensation, a new artist, released his EP in 2024. We're talking about his TikTok, social media success, and just asked him how that shaped his career. What does that feel like? How it's shaped his growth as an artist.
Yeah, so my social media has been a big part of it all. Um, it's I'm obviously like I'm a Dutch person from Amsterdam, but I never felt like my music was just for here and just for the Netherlands. My I make like English music. So I was always like, I want to be able to reach more people. And social media really helped me with that. I started posting in the beginning of 2024, and my algorithm totally switched from first I had like 100% Dutch followers, and now I have like I think 70% of my followers are from the US, and then 20 are from the UK. So social media has helped me like going overseas and like helping me with my audience over there.
It helped me find you. So yeah,
Yeah. And it's the
And
reason why I'm talking to you guys right now.
precisely.
abs-
Yeah.
for sure. So wait, I just want to backtrack real quick. You said you're in the Netherlands. You said you're Dutch.
Yeah, I am.
Does that mean so? Is there the unpackers want to know? I want to know because I've never been there. So does that mean you speak a different language? Is there a native language in the to the
Yes.
Netherlands?
Definitely. I speak Dutch. That's my first language. That's what I've been speaking since I was born, and
Really?
what I went to school with and all of that. Yeah.
So you're fluent in that's your native language, Dutch,
Yes. Yeah,
and
yeah.
and also English.
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm fluent in English. I just learned English from like
You sound good to me.
YouTube. Thank you.
You
Like social media
you
really helped me.
okay. I mean, listen, you that's great. Okay. I mean, I think that's really interesting. I mean, listen, there's so much to unpack. Kai booked you to talk about your music, but me and the unpackers really want to get in your business, want to know what dating life is like.
Of course.
What
Just
dating life
ask me
is like out
anything.
there when you can speak Dutch and English. I want to know, you know what I'm saying? Like what is it giving? But I gotta get it together here, and move on to the next question. Kai brought this up in the very beginning when we were introducing you to the Unpackers. Your sound, being so distinctive because it blends pop, neo soul, indie rock, just to name a few, right? It feels fresh yet familiar at the same time. What are some of your biggest musical influences, and how have they shaped your artistic identity?
Well, I've had a whole journey with my in like musical influences. Um, right now, I have to say that Radiohead and Billie Eilish are the two main inspirations for all of what I do. But I started like my music, like the love for music started what because of listening to like new R&B. So when I have to say like pop R&B, I'm talking about like Daniel Caesar, her, I'm talking about Frank Ocean. Those were like when I was like I think I was 13 and I got my first like Spotify account, I was just listening to that. And I wanted to mimic their voices kind of. So I taught myself like how to sing kind of like them, but I've always wanted to do like more. And then I came across Billy and Radiohead, and I was like, they're doing something so different with their voices. How can I like mix the two or the three? And I was like, I want to, make a kind of like poppy black R&B rock. I wanted to mix all of that, and that's kind of how I got my sound, I think.
It was in some of that. I'm sorry, Kai. I just want to know. Going back on the dad. That's a soft spot for me. I love to see those type of relationships, and I miss my dad. How much of your influence came from dad, or do you remember listening to those records growing up as a kid, and are you pulling from some of that?
That's actually funny because I've been a stubborn kid my whole life. So if my parents were like, "Oh, you should listen to this," I would always be like, "No, y'all don't
What's
know
your
what good
sign?
music is." I'm a
He's a
Taurus. I have
Taurus.
it. I have it
He's a Taurus.
tattooed on my
April
Oh, is that
30th.
forehead.
okay? Okay.
April 30th. He is a
Yes.
Taurus.
Yes.
Okay, for
I'm a
context,
Taurus.
I had to ask that for the
I
unpackers that are
know.
listening. Okay.
Yeah, very stubborn. So I like my dad and my mom are big like hip hop listeners. They love hip hop. They love Dutch hip hop, like English hip hop, everything. But I always like felt like that wasn't really for me. But I think where we meet is the whole R&B thing, like Jasmine Sullivan we love and her and Daniel Caesar. So that's what I kind of got from them, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
We love that you love Jasmine because she is from right here in Philly. So we love,
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
I
Jasmine is
love
from,
Jasmine. I love her.
Hmm.
we love her too. I want to know, because you've had so much social media success in the USA, like, would you ever consider doing the USA tour? Is that something that's in the works? Or maybe there are a lot about, barriers around it. Like, unpack that for us.
So right now my number one dream goal and what I'm going to do in 2025 is working on my career in the US because most of my followers are from the US and my like the audience I want to reach is mostly US based. So there's some things happening I can't tell you quite yet about what is going on there, but I'm going there in January to have like some talks and meet some people, and I'm definitely planning on building my career there, maybe moving there, and obviously touring there as well.
Can you tell us what part of the USA you're going to be at when you come visit?
I will be in LA, but I might not only be in LA. It's like I still like I bought my ticket to go, but I haven't bought my ticket back. So we don't know where I'm gonna
Oh,
be. We don't know where I'm gonna be.
he not leaving, y'all. He just gonna stay. No, I'm kidding.
He's like,
I would love to.
listen.
I would love to.
Well,
Well, if
I
you're
feel
on
like
the
Cali is my bad, Kai. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say you're in the right space for what you're trying to do. And but if you end
Oh,
up on the East Coast, if you're in the New York, Philly, DC area, that Eric and I know will come out, buy you a drink.
Sounds so fun. Sounds so fun. Meet some locals.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, yeah.
some,
Love
some,
that.
yes. We're gonna we're gonna be making sure it's all good energy.
Yeah. We
Perfect.
wanna we wanna convince you to come, not scare you away.
Yeah,
Um,
or be
can I
like, we
ask
ain't
you
never coming
something?
back.
Well, speaking of that, I'm interested. I am interested because one thing I love is Black queer people for real. And I want to know, like, what is queer life like in the Netherlands? Like, what is it like? What's the dating vibe there? Like, is it well, you would have no way to know if it's the same here, but like when you answer the question, I'll tell you if it's the same.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same as there, but I do know that the Netherlands and especially Amsterdam is one of the most like open and accepting places to be, I think, worldwide. I've never actually, and I'm so happy that I can say this, but I've never experienced homophobia in my life. Um,
What?
that's also one of the
Yes.
reasons why I make music is because I want to share my experiences with people that don't live the same life. But for me, ever since I was born, I went like we have two schools here. So you go to like middle school, which is also kind of like preschool, and then you have high school. And my first school I went to was a very like open-minded, like, oh, everyone does things for themselves, blah blah blah, like art kind of school. And then my high school was also an art school, so everyone there was like really accepting and super artsy and open to everything. And my
That's one
family
thing
is kind
that
of the
is
same.
not valued here. They actually taking the
No,
arts out of the schools here. They've been out.
really,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not
Unless you have a like private school or you're paying for your kid to like be a part of that stuff. Like, I remember growing up how important the arts was. you had to
Definitely,
do a little bit
definitely.
of everything. Even if you weren't good at it, you were doing it. I was terrible at archery, but I remember doing it. You know what I mean? Like they just made us engage. I remember,
Yeah.
ceramic class, like just all kind of stuff. And so much of that is lost. But I think this is why we want to have people like you here on unpacking, is so that people know why it's important that we keep things like the arts in schools. And so I'm really enjoying unpacking with someone who's not from here, who can
Yeah.
give us a different perspective and a different experience, because whoo, we struggling over here.
I'm still stuck at the
Yes,
never
it's
experienced
crazy.
homophobia.
That
I've
part,
I
Kai, right? The
I don't
privilege,
know a
right?
black queer person that's not experienced because and I'm emphasizing the black because racism is what it is here. But
Definitely. Yeah.
because of the
It's
way like
crazy.
black churches in America and the way black culture is centered around the black church, whether they go to church or not, like black culture has like this thing of like you could have a black family that never been to church in their life, they're going to center God in a way. And
Mhm.
centering God in America means homophobia for
Yeah.
black people. And so I've never in my life encountered until you a black queer person who said that they had never experienced homophobia.
Yeah, that's my first time.
I'm so glad I booked you for the show because it's like this is a
Same.
different this is a different experience. And for those of you who are just tuning in, you're tuning in listening to WRD 96.1 FM 900 AM. It is Unpacking with Eric and Kai, Philadelphia's progressive black talk radio, and talking about progressive black conversations. We are talking with Jair Faria, who lives in the Netherlands, is an amazing artist, is here promoting his album Just As I Remember. I mean, it's the songs of the songs. We're gonna get into the music later. And we are gagging as Jair tells us that he has never experienced homophobia. Y'all know on this platform, Eric and I have talked about our experiences. Do you think, let me ask you, I'm sure you hear about American experiences around like homophobia and racism. Do you think it's
Yeah.
ghetto? Are you judging us? You should
Um,
be.
I'm not judging, but the whole like for me, it's always been like very like far. Also with things like gun violence, like we don't have like
Yeah.
I'm sure we do have guns, obviously, but
It's
we
not
don't
like
own them.
this.
Like we can't have them ourselves. So like I
Oh,
like
okay.
I can't move there. I can't move there.
you know what I mean? It's like I
Well,
don't
you're
those
also
things.
in a different environment right now, okay? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. If I had never
it sounds
experienced
like
homophobia, I was
Jair.
like,
Yeah, it's a different world. Go ahead, Jair.
Yeah, it's like I think it's more and maybe it's just because I'm mainly like in Amsterdam always. Amsterdam is like a really big city. It's kind of like I, it's kind of like a small New York, a small Manhattan, I guess. It's very open. Everyone is like very open-minded, and that's probably one of the reasons why I've never experienced homophobia in that way. Because everything's really mixed. Like in school, I had like people from everywhere. I had people with two dads, two moms. I had black people. I had Asian kids. I had like everyone. That everything is mixed here. So um, no one is like an outsider, I think.
Well, listen, Kai, unpackers, people over here, because we got Trump coming back in, and the folks are worried, and some people are even saying that they're packing their bags and they're getting ready to leave. Well, if you're trying to think of some places to consider to go, it sounds like the Netherlands, Amsterdam might be a move. I've never been to Amsterdam. I've always wanted to go. A lot of Americans like to go for the obvious reasons. I don't even know if Amsterdam is still that place. But in terms of like tourism, what do people
what's the
still come
obvious
back?
reason?
Well, people obviously
Smoking.
smoke weed here.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why they come here. I feel like we're kind of known for that at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they still do. It's not like they like the city center is full of high tourists. Yeah.
Okay, but what about, and it could be my ignorance, so get me together. But what about is it still, down in the district? Can you get a little,
Oh yeah,
love
of course.
love me
Yeah.
long time?
No, no, no. People here love to talk about all of that, and there's still the red light district. Everyone loves it.
The light's
Um,
still on? It's still
the
red?
light is still on. It's still red. You can still go if that's what you want. you know.
I'm not saying that's for me, Jair. You know,
Mm, but they're still open.
that's really dope to hear. Kai, have you ever been to Amsterdam or the Netherlands or anywhere over there?
I can't do an international flight. I have terrible flight anxiety,
Oh, cause you,
Ooh,
and
same, same,
it's getting
same.
worse with time. But I'll tell you this:
it's
if the
getting
new
worse.
it's getting worse. Like the older I get, the worse it
The
gets.
worse it gets.
I told you I was
The older
okay.
you
I was
get, the shorter the flight has to be, and eventually it's no flight.
now
And if you can't get there by train, it's not happening. Is that where we're going, Kai?
that is where we're going. But when there's a check attached, when there's a check attached, I wish I had a praying church. When there is a check attached, you will see me get on that flight. I got on that last work trip flight, and I may have had a panic attack and had to put my head in between my legs. But I tell you what, I was there to get that check, and I came back home with the check. Okay,
You got paid.
okay. Now I might be scared, but if somebody books me in Amsterdam, the way you gonna see me on that, if I have to have a heart attack on this plane, I'm coming because every check matters. But no, I would love to go, and I would, in theory, love to go, and maybe we'll figure it out. Like I would love to visit because I what I've heard from people who've gone is that it's a so I'll just be honest with you. I'm really like leery about traveling places where black people aren't welcome or queer people aren't welcome or the combination black queer people aren't welcome. And so I don't like to travel and put myself in situations where like my mom was planning to do a destination wedding in Jamaica. I was like, oh well, let me know how it goes. I'm not going to a country where it's illegal to be at. Like that, do that make sense? That I didn't get it. It didn't make
Of
Hmm.
sense to
course.
me. Like I don't want to, because I'm not a humble gay. I'm not like I'm like one of those people who's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be talking crazy back to the people who saying stuff, and they're
And you're
gonna
gonna be
bust me
wearing
inside.
right, and you're gonna be wearing a onesie that's fitted down to the butt, and
As you should, as you should.
as he
They're gonna,
should, as he should.
and them people gonna
Yes.
come catch me and do me like they did Miss Sophia on The Color
Stop.
Purple, and
Stop.
I
Get my
don't want
chilling
to.
out of here.
Yeah, it's gonna be very much. Um, So that was why Amsterdam was on my list because I heard that it was a place. Everything you're describing is what I've heard. People are like, it's just free. We had a great time. Um, I guess I'm gonna have to learn Dutch.
Well, you don't have to learn Dutch to come here, if I'm really honest. I think Dutch is the most ugly language in the world. I don't
You
I
think
don't really
so?
like it. It's probably just because it's my own language, but also only people in the Netherlands speak it and in Suriname. But for the like you can't use it anywhere else in the world. So it's not that like I wouldn't take all the time to learn the whole language. You can just speak English here.
You
That's
said
all
it's
right.
not. Don't even give
Don't
them all
even
that.
try. No.
Enough people know English. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone knows English, so you can just speak English.
And so we're talking about, traveling and the woes of being on flights because it's flying is not my favorite thing either. But one thing I like about it is that really within a blink of an eye, a few hours, you could really be somewhere completely different, experience people totally different. And I do love that part about it. So as an artist, and I know we're about to wrap up here with you very, very soon. I'm just curious, what do you love most about being an artist? Is it the performing, being in front of your fans and being in front of people who want to listen to your music, be it on stage or be it in front on social media or YouTube? Is it being able to travel and be in different places and work with different people? You mentioned earlier that you'll be traveling to the US soon to like work on some things. Um, is it the fame? Is it the fortune? Is it the rock and roll? Is it the what do you love so much about what do you love most about what you do?
Well, this is gonna sound really corny, but I love all of it, and I don't have the whole like I just started, so the whole fame and fortune, that's not like I don't have that yet, just yet. But for me, it's like I've always loved performing, and I've always loved performing in front of people. I never get nervous when I have to perform because I love, love, love performing. But I also love doing things like making the music, like pouring my heart out into like a song, or seeing people like getting like touched by my music, or even like the whole process of making a music video or the visual art, the artwork that has to be made. Like I love all of it. I love the photography, the cinematography. I love the making music, the performing the music. Like it's the whole thing. And obviously traveling is going to be part of that as well. I do have to say I'm so super afraid of flying. I don't like flying at all. So that is something I'm gonna have to deal with, but I love seeing new places. So, it's a
Whoa, everybody in here, we got to get over our. Okay, so what is it about flying that you hate the most?
well, there's like a thing, like a huge thing made out of iron, like made out of metal, which
With
is
all
in
this
the
gas.
sky.
It's a flying ball of gas
I
in a tin
think it's
can.
yeah, I don't
It's a lot for
I
you.
don't want to think about that.
30,000 miles above. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He don't want to
Yeah.
die, Eric. Like you in our
And
face.
that's the
Ask us
thing. I
what
don't
we
want to
scared
die.
of. Like you know what we scared of? Death. Like
Yeah.
you done
Oh,
took a oversized can of beans and put a bunch of people on it and thrusted it with as much fuel as you could to make this thing go from one part of the world to the next. Honey, I'm not interested. It take one
It's
little thing to
that.
go wrong, and that's it. Look at me. And imagine of all the ways to die, dying on the airplane, watching yourself go down. Like, look at me.
You
but
know how
then
long
the
it's gonna take
stats,
till you reach the ground?
it's a long time for you to think
Well, you'll
about
most
your
likely die
life.
before that. Yeah, you'll most likely die before
If
that
you
because
get
if you go
sucked
down
out,
quick,
if you get sucked out the back and then you just get, you know what I
why
mean?
would you
Like
say that? Like we're already scared. Like why are you introducing new
just
possibilities?
boom, like right, like you up there with
I
the
don't want to
birds.
go
You got a lot of
anymore.
time to think about life. You got a lot of time to think about life. But the stats say
Is he crazy?
you are more likely to get in a car accident than you ever would an airplane. So you know, it's
Yeah,
still
but you're more
true.
likely
That's
to survive a
underground
car
though.
accident than
Are
you are to
you?
survive. Yes,
People
you are more
die a
likely to
lot from
survive.
car accidents, and it's nowhere near. Planes don't have nothing on car accidents in America.
Well, yes, plane accidents happen less, but if a plane accident, like when there are plane crashes, typically but I'll tell you this fun fact because I do know these facts. The fun fact is that you're more likely to survive if you're in the back, like lower class. Almost always the people in first class die.
Oh, great. Well,
Eric said,
Jair, we
I
know
What?
you flying first class. We know you flying first
I'm
class,
not.
business class.
he
We
said
know
he
I
don't
you.
am
have
not.
the
We know
fortune
you go
yet.
right
Leave
to
him
the front.
alone.
You got your glasses on. You go right to the front, and you just want to know where your cookies
I'll
and
be
your
in the
ginger
back of the
ale.
plane. I'll be in the back.
Yes, me and Jair will be back in the back of the plane having a panic attack,
Y'all gonna pass
asking
by
for
me
workers off.
in business class. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, but when
let them
things
eat
go
cake.
awry, I'm gonna be like, bye, Eric. What portion say bye, Ashy?
What a way
I'll be
to
like,
go
bye,
out.
Eric. Since he had his degree and knew everything.
In
Well, I wouldn't.
unpackers, what a way to go out, right?
Yes,
With a little bit of
he
shade and a little laughter. I ain't
a
mad at
true
it.
Capricorn. He left
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah, and to be looking at me all cut like on the way out, like, mm-hmm. Um, I want to say this though, Jagger. I love that you love everything about your job. Like, I love that because what I'm hearing you say is that you wake up and it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like something you
It
have to
does
do. It
not.
feels like doing something you
Mm,
love to do. And I want to encourage you to keep that as long as you can, because here's what we know: the fame and fortune will come. And so many people change and forget their why they do this. And so I encourage you to keep it and to keep this energy. You are so sweet. Like you have such a good spirit
yeah.
and such a good vibe. And please don't let this in this industry change that about you. Now, before we wrap up, speaking of you being sweet and having good energy, are the unpackers one thing they're going to do when you talking about moving to America? One thing they're going to do is slide in them DMs. Now, let me talk to my listeners real quick. Yes, Shaw, he is cute. He's as cute as he sounds. The music matches the vibe. Am I lying, Eric?
Not one lie.
Okay. So our unpackers, we ask this with everyone who comes on the show who is attractive. Are you single and are the DMs open?
I am single, and yes, they are open. I gotta find me a husband in the US so I can stay.
Oh, he
I
said
could
it with
I
such enthusiasm, Kai.
you
Now
know,
I know some quality single people. Now I'm gonna DM you and you tell me what you like, and I'm gonna give you like dudes by the
perfect,
layers,
You
all
tell
different
me what you
flavors.
like.
perfect.
Kai saying you tell me what you like is just tickling me. But
Listen,
Kai is known here in the DMV. This is a section of the East Coast that we call the DMV. He is known as a well-known matchmaker. He's done a good job.
Listen,
Now,
I'm
I
married.
have
love
I
I'm trying
been
to
Jair.
marry
matched?
off.
Now, have I been matched at Jair? The answer would be no. But I'm
Do
holding
you
on
listen?
to
Do
God's
you listen?
unchanging hand.
Do you listen? Answer that
While I
question.
see
Do you
everybody
listen?
around me get married, Jair, he got people adopting babies out here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just waiting for my turn, friend.
I guess next stop is Philly. Can't wait.
Yes, you
Yes,
come. You
yes.
need to come to Philly and
And I'll see for
listen,
myself.
Jair. Period.
I'm
Listen,
scared for him to
Jair.
see Philly. God,
No, we got you. You'll be with us. You'll be well
we
protected.
got you. All right, we got
Yeah, we got you. You'll be protected.
you.
And WR listeners, don't let Eric tell y'all that I'm not out here trying to hook him up. He is incredibly difficult to hook up, Jair, because he
No, I'm
is,
not.
although he is great. Like I would not recommend a friend more. I think he is amazing as a person, like both privately and publicly. Like people don't even know. Like he would be an amazing partner. His problem is that he works all the time. He does not allow space for him to enjoy life. He just is always like work. I gotta do, gotta. And he be in that space. And I'm like, now how? Now when you gonna go on a date if you in here unpacking with me on the mic? Nigga, I'm married. You ain't talking to me. You better go out there and put something itty bitty on and go out there and throw it in a circle. Like, come on.
Y'all
So,
hear
but
how Kai
also,
talking to me? And got me. I got to use the censor button in post production.
well, do what you gotta do.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
yes.
mm,
Do what you
mm.
gotta do.
Jair,
Jair,
you see
tell
how
us
we get down over here on
I
unpacking.
love it. I love it. I feel so at home. I feel so at home.
Good,
you go
good.
and feel at home. Can you tell us before you go? You know, your music, your energy, everything is just like it's a vibe. What can people expect from you? Any upcoming projects, collaborations? You told us a little bit, but anything that you haven't said that's upcoming for you?
Um, well, I don't know what I can and can't say. But I'm definitely gonna be on TV somewhere, maybe
Mm.
in the US. And I am probably gonna, I hope I'll be on your radar because I'm gonna release and I'm gonna be up in everyone's face. I hope, at
And
least.
doing the thing. So in order for folks to catch it, we just need to be following you on the socials, right, Jair?
Yes,
That's
definitely.
that's that's how we're going to get all that we need to know about what's going on with Jair. So Jair, drop your socials and also let the listeners know where they can stream your EP, just as I remember.
Yeah, so on Instagram, my name is just Jair Faria Music. So that's Jair Faria. And then that's also my name on Spotify, on TikTok, on whatever. It's Jair Faria everywhere. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Well, we look forward to all the things that you have coming up, and we look forward to you coming back. Like when you start touching down the U.S. and making all these moves and being on the big screen. Like, listen, you got to come back, and we got to unpack all of those experiences. Now, Philly, you heard him,
Definitely.
so don't only follow him, but go stream his latest album, Just as I Remember, and follow him on all platforms. Thank you so much, Jair, for joining us. You were a breath of fresh air, and now you got fans here for life at Unpacking.
Thank you guys so much. And thank you for having me as well.